Hi, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to start learning about new basic HTML tags. So let us start. So here's the list of tags that we'll be learning in this particular video. These are the tags that you will use most often in your website. I'll introduce a couple more tags when we move to CSS because you will not understand their use right now. But these are the tags that you will use a lot, and these are the tags that you will eventually remember. Because as you saw in the MDN video, there are hundreds of tags out there and you do not need to remember all of those, right? So let's just start. So you already know about the A tag we discussed in the last video, but I just wanted to show you how you could link your own file with your own file using an A tag. So what do I mean by that? I'll just save this first. So here I have an unsaved editor open in VS Code. So I'll just save this by the name of basic tags.html. Right. So I have this HTML file right here, and now I'll make up my basic structure. Here's the doc type. Now I'll take the HTML tag. Now I'll take the head tag. I'll do the title as basic tags demo. Now I'll make the body. So in the body, first thing I'll do is put an h1 and it says basic HTML tags. Right. So one thing that I have not told you yet is you can have h1 up to h6. These are the 6 type of headings you can have on your page, right? So now let's see what I mean by linking your own file with your own file using an A tag. So if I open the folder right here, this you will do a lot in the backend section. So this is my folder named web dev course, and I have two files in here, basic tags.html and intro.html. We have coded these two files from scratch. So what if I need a functionality in which I need to link this basic tags.html to my intro.html file? How do I do that? So that is easily done through an A tag. What you do is you make an A, and in the href you can give the name of the file as intro.html, and I can just do a link to intro. So now if we open this up in our browser, so if I open this up in my browser right now in Google Chrome, and if I click this, you can see it takes me to the intro.html page, and we get this text that we put right there. And if you remember, this link was to Wikipedia, right? So in this example, we can see the use of a tag in the two different ways you could want. The first is linking two pages that you made, which is demonstrated by this. And the second is linking a page already present on the web to your own website, which is demonstrated by this link, which links our website to Wikipedia. So that's what a tag can do, and that's what you'll use it for, right? So now the next tag we're going to see is the p tag. So what the p tag is basically a paragraph. So now in the first video I showed you that you can just do something like this is a paragraph and this will show up on your page. That's fine, but we have some problems here. First things first, when we move to CSS, we will need to have something with which we can identify an element on the page. For example, this h1 tag could work for identifying this thing right here when we are styling. We'll have to decide what we are going to style, right? So first of all, tags will be really helpful in that. So that's one thing. And the next thing is that we put this in a separate line here. This is a paragraph, but here it shows up on the same line. This is because of the thing that I told you in the last video, that HTML ignores these blank lines and it just places this right above this. And you could put a BR tag right here, but that's not good practice because you'll normally have a lot of content in your website, of course, right? So you'll not just put 100 BR tags on your HTML. That's not something you would do. So what you can do is enclose this in a paragraph tag P, and now if I move this inside this and if I refresh, I see this moves to a new line, and now this is a paragraph, and if I want to style this later on, I can style paragraphs specifically, and this will get the styling. If I want to increase the font size or if I want to change the color of the text, all of that can be done by selecting the paragraph tag, right? And you can have multiple paragraphs on this site. First thing is this. I've used this lorem ipsum. So this is nothing but a really common sample text. If you go to lorem ipsum, we can read about it. It is a simple dummy text of the printing and typesetting industry. It has been the industry's standard dummy text ever since the 1500s. So this is the thing that you want to see. Contrary to popular belief, it is not just simply random text. And the thing is that this would look on your website as some proper text would. Like if you would put a normal English paragraph related to your site here, it would give the same look, because you know, if you just put 100 A's right here, then you would not get the same look later on. So you see what I'm talking about, right? So this is the standard text for testing and sample that you will see everywhere. So that's the only thing lorem ipsum is. It doesn't have any more significance than that. And you can see that I wanted to introduce 100 characters here. So this is a VS Code shortcut. It works in Sublime too, I think. So you can do a lorem 100 and then you can press tab. And then you see we have 100 characters, the first 100 characters of lorem ipsum. So now if I go to this page and refresh, I have my paragraph right here. So this is the use of the p tag, and that you will use the p tag a lot whenever you are putting simple text on your website. You would never just write it like this, because this is, first of all, this is not good practice, and second, you will not be able to style this at all until you style the whole body, which is not something you do, right? So this is something you should know. So now the next thing is UL, OL and LI. Now these are 3 tags in one point, but the reason behind that is all of them constitute a list. So UL, let's first see what UL is. UL is basically an unordered list, right? So if I make a UL tag right here, so this will make an unordered list for me. And if I currently refresh, I obviously have nothing here. I'll do something like this, right? So I currently have nothing here because my list does not have any elements. So that's where li comes in. To put elements in your list, you would use the li tag. Li stands for list item. So anything you put inside the list, you would put inside the li tag. So you could do, let's do names of fruits, like I'll do orange. And if I refresh, I see I get a bullet point with orange. And I get a bullet point because this is an unordered list, right? We'll see what an ordered list is in just a moment. So if I make another li, then I could have an apple. And so I'll duplicate this line. And for duplicating this line, I'm using Shift plus Alt plus down button in VS Code. The shortcut for Sublime will be different. You can search for it on the web. So VS Code users can do Shift plus Alt plus down. Alt is option in Mac. So orange apple, let's just do banana. And now let's just do pear. And if I refresh this, I see that I get a nice unordered list right here with 4 elements. You could add as many elements as you want, there's no restriction, right? So the only tag remaining is the OL. So OL stands for ordered list. So I'll just make one and you will see the difference automatically. So of course in ordered list we'll also have list item. So li is common inside all of these, UL and OL. So if I make the same kind of thing here, I'll just copy and paste this. So again you can select the whole thing and again press Shift plus Alt plus down to duplicate the whole thing that you've selected. And now I'm going to change this to OL. And now if I go back to Chrome and I refresh, I see that I get an ordered list, and the only difference between UL and OL is that this has bullet points while this has numbers. So that's the only difference between these two. And you will always have an li inside of a list, because a list cannot work without a list item, and there's no point of an li if the enclosing tag for the li is not a ul or an ol, right? So that's what a list is. So the next tag we're going to see is image, and we're going to have a coding exercise, and you will get a lot more comfortable with this. So for now you can just understand their functioning, and I recommend that you go to MDN and you read about them later after this video, so that you can get a more clear understanding and get more examples from the ones that I'm giving here if you ever get stuck, right? So the next tag we're going to see is image. So for image, image is actually quite implicit. What it will do, it will add images to your website. So we just need to know the syntax. So if I do image right here, so it gives me two attributes. We can see we have two attributes right here by default. And the first thing I would want to show you before the attributes is that it did not add a closing tag. And that is not by mistake. Image tag is the second type of tag I was talking about in the intro to HTML video. The first type of tags is the one in which we have an opening tag and a closing tag, and everything is enclosed in between them. The second type of tag is this self-closing tag, which is the image tag. Or you will have a lot of self-closing tags, but image is an example of that. So in this, you do not have any closing tags. You have just one tag inside which you'll give your content as attributes, and then you'll just simply leave it like that. You won't add an ending tag like something like image. You see, this auto completes to body, not image, and image would not make any sense because image is a self-closing tag. And one more self-closing tag that we've seen is BR. Now you must remember that when I use BR in the example on MDN, I did not do something like this, right? So that's because BR also is a self-closing tag, and it can be used as a standalone tag. Right. So back to image. So you can leave this alt for now. So what this source is, SRC stands for source, and source is the URL of the image that you would want to display on your website. So for now, let's just go to Google and search for, I don't know, banana, and we'll go to images, and I'll just take the sample image right here. I'll click on copy image address, and I'll paste it here. So this is what I have, and now if I go to the page and refresh, I see I have this image of a banana here. Now this is an oversized image normally, so we'll style this in the CSS section, don't worry about that. But this is how you would use an image tag on your website. And again, just like the A tag, you could have a proper link to an existing website, existing image, or you could download an image by yourselves and then you could just link to that. So I'm just gonna do something like that. So you can see that this file is saved in a folder named webdev course, and I have an image saved on my desktop, and I'll just rename that in a second. Alright, so I've renamed the image and I've put it in this folder right here. So this is the sample image that we want. This is nothing but a simple black line. Right? This is what we want to put on our website instead of this banana. So we could simply do sample image.png. It shows us the autocomplete because it recognizes that we have something like that. And if I refresh, I get the image right here. That's not a problem. What I wanted to show you was, and this is common to all the tags in which you will have a path to an image, right? So what if this image was present inside of a new folder, let's say by the name of images, by the name of image, right? And if I place this inside this, so now my basic tags.html is in this folder, but my image is in this folder. So right now if I save this and I refresh my Chrome, I see that I do not get this image. And this is a problem that you will run into when you start with the course, and you will eventually get used to solving this because this is not something very complex. So the reason behind that is whenever you put a source to your own link inside any tag, in the A tag or in the image tag, it by default looks inside the folder in which the HTML document resides in. What I mean by that is basic tags.html is in this folder, webdev course, but the sample image.png is not in this folder. So it will search everywhere here. It will not go inside these two folders, and it will see that okay, there's no sample image.png, so it will display this kind of an error image, and hence we get this. So to solve this, we'll have to give a proper path to the sample image. To do that, we can simply do image slash, and now if I refresh, I see I get my image back. So that's how you make a path, right? You would enter the name of the folder, then you'll enter a slash, meaning that you are now going inside that folder, right? So you can access the things inside that folder after this. So that's how you would access an image inside of a folder or anything inside of a folder. If this intro.html was not in the same directory as the basic tags.html, we would have to add the directory name slash intro.html here. And one more thing is that if imagine that your basic tags.html was inside this folder and your image was here, so you would have to go one folder back, right? So to go one folder back, you can do a simple dot dot slash. Now of course this won't work because our folder structure is not set up that way, but dot dot slash will take you one folder back if you are wondering, right? So that's our image tag right there. Okay, so now we have just two tags left that are strong and em, and they're like super simple tags. So what strong would do, you would use strong for bolding specific part of your code. So anything you put inside of strong, let us just put another lorem 20, let's say. And if I refresh this page right now, I see that this thing right here gets bolded. So that's all what strong does. It's nothing more than that. And the next thing is em. Em is also quite similar. If I add em and I add lorem 10 and if I refresh, I see this lorem text. It is italicized. So that's what em does. Strong makes it bold, em makes it italic. And so now one last thing that I want to show you in this video is the difference between a block level element and an inline element. So we have both of them on this page right now. So imagine I did not have this paragraph tag. I would have this paragraph here, right? But if I have this paragraph tag, oh, this is not saved. So if I have this paragraph tag, this will move to a new line. This is what a block level element means. A block level element would take up an entire line, and tags classified as block level or inline. So P tag is a block level element. Why? Because it takes a whole line. We can see UL takes a whole line, LI takes a whole line. All the LIs are on different lines here, right? So these are now block level elements. So OL is a block level element, right? And what is an inline element? An inline element is what shows in its effect on the same line and does not require a new line. So what's an example of an inline element on this page? The strong tag right here. So if I have the strong, you can see that I added the strong from in the same line as the paragraph. So if it was a block level element, it would move to a new line. However, we see that here it is on the same line as all the other elements who are outside the strong too. The strong does not take up another line. Similarly for em, it does not take up another line. That you would know as an inline element. So that's all that you should need to know about basic HTML. So the next thing we'll do is we'll make a coding assignment. We'll code along and you will use all of these tags in that assignment, and then hence you will get comfortable in that. So that's all for this video, and see you in the next one.